for the serious whitetail hunter, the upcoming season can be full of anticipation, excitement, and a lot of unknowns.
There's just nothing growing. Nothing. It's so frustrating.
Some seasons, after all the hard work, the success almost feels like it comes too easily.
I'm in shock. I'm in shock right now. Scissors. You got it.
Then, there are some seasons, no matter how hard you work, the season just completely humbles you.
Biggest deer of my life, and I just screwed it up.
I don't know what the heck's going on here. I don't know, I missed that deer. Not very good.
Then there are some where it just comes down to straight perseverance.
He's a giant. I hope I got that on film. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
This time, we lean on Romans 5, 3, and 4. And not only that, but we also glory in tribulation, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, character produces hope. And to us at Whitetail Edge, perseverance means results. I'm Ben Rising, and welcome to this year's Whitetail Edge. Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Mossy Oak, Black Widow Deer Lures, Prime Archery, G5 Outdoors, and Novix Tree Stands. Hi, and welcome to episode 2, season 8 of Whitetail Edge. We're going to be following along with Dylon Gandy as he's after an Ohio buck in the suburbs. Dylon's a young family man. He's just recently married. And so, Dylon tries to save money wherever he can. He's not big into leasing property or whatever. So, in general, he's a lot like 80% of the people that watch our show. I'm older now. I'm almost 50. And Dylon reminds me a lot of myself back in those days when I would knock on anybody's door, do anything it took to find a big deer. And Dylon is in that stage of his life where he would knock on the Pope's door if there was a big deer in his backyard.
This year was a little bit different for me. I had a lot of work to do, really. Always hunted a rural piece growing up. Had a lot of success, the past couple seasons, killing some nice deer, all on rural pieces. It was just constant turnover, I'd kill a deer, lose a piece, kill a deer, lose a piece. And, the suburban game has always kind of piqued my interest, that suburban hunting, urban hunting. It's always been an interest of mine to kind of maybe switch up the game a little bit. After killing SK2 last year, it was the last bigger farm that I had to hunt. And, so it was back to the drawing board this year. It was a lot of door knocking. I called a lot of landowners trying to gain access, gain permission. Really just had my work cut out for me coming into the 22 summer.
So we just got out of church and headed to this guy's property where I saw the big typicals. Already asked the guy I knew that I talked about in the video if I could hunt, and it turns out that his brother's hunt, but there's a property right next door that I found on the DeerCast maps, and figured out the landowner and where his driveway was, so it was kind of tucked back in there. And I stopped one evening and asked him if I could hunt, and he said that he wanted to think about it. I told him I'd be back Sunday afternoon, so I'm headed back right now and about to find out if I can gain access to hunt this deer. I told him just to give me 2 weeks, so it's going to be it's not going to be easy, but we'll see if it can be done. The deer doesn't have a ton of place to go. according to the maps. It's just he's gonna have to cross really busy roads, and there's honestly no reason for those deer to leave where they're at. They've got good bedding, unless neighbors start pressuring them too hard, which that's a big possibility. So it's kind of why I put that deadline on there, 2 weeks, see if we can get permission. Well, the quest for those big typicals that I filmed in the field, that is officially over. I am out of properties to ask permission on. Got nothing but no's.
So in the 22 summer, you know, it rolls around. I got my work cut out for me. I'm calling landowners, looking at deer cast maps, getting auditor information, just, you know, going through the grind of trying to find a big deer to hunt. I'm spending a lot of time glassing, driving the roads, got my whole family loaded up in the van. We had a great time doing it. My wife, Michaela, really enjoyed it. But, you know, we would just drive around the back roads in the evenings, summer evenings, and just glass and look for big deer. You know, one of the cool things about the glassing and filming the deer out in the field in the velvet, you know, that was something I grew up doing as a kid, you know, because trail cameras weren't really prevalent back then. So, you know, we would just drive around and look for deer. And I haven't done it in a long time. And, you know, now that I was kind of forced to find a big deer, well, I find myself cruising the roads again, glassing fields, and trying to find a big deer to hunt. And just had so much fun doing it in the evenings, spending time with my family, just driving around, you know, enjoying the summer evenings in Ohio, which are just beautiful.
Old boy's giving me all the angles tonight. He's way out in that soybean field. Got all the kids with me. He's got it going on.
So as I'm driving around, I found a pretty nice deer that I'd be more than happy with to harvest. Gave him the name Buck NATO. Silly name, but, you know, I just like to keep things original. Just, you know, kind of thought Buck NATO was kind of funny, but so I see Buck NATO out in the field. Actually ends up being pretty close to my house, and I'm like, you know, I feel like, you know, I could start knocking on some doors in the area, talking to landowners and trying to gain permission. I did gain permission on a couple pieces, you know, in that area, in that block. You know, I got him on camera, you know, maybe twice. He was, you know, his pattern was pretty rough. He was spending a lot of time on this big back farm that I didn't have access to. There was bean field back there. There was just a ton of beans in that whole block. And so, you know, trying to pinpoint him to an area was pretty hard. I knew that I wanted to get my tag punched early because I'm going to be hitting the road filming Ben, you know, throughout the Midwest, throughout Illinois and Missouri and Kentucky and all that. So I just really want to punch my tag as quick as I can. So, you know, when my Spartan goes off and I'm filming Ben in Illinois, I'm not like, oh man, I wish I was home. So, you know, just trying to get my tag punched early was definitely my main objective.
Well, it's July 3rd, and as you can see, getting ready to put Spartans out for the first time of the year. Super excited. I've laid eyes physically on some good bucks. Pretty much a whole reboot this season. Don't really have any of the properties that I've hunted. This is all new for me this year. And I'm actually just picked up a bunch of like 5, 6, 10 acre pieces that should be good. Last year I found some giant sheds on a piece literally just right down the road from my house. Landowner was gonna sell it, and then he ended up not selling it, so I get to hunt it. Super pumped about it. Hopefully I can get that big deer on camera. Saw a really nice non-typical literally across the street from me just the other night. Just ordered a phone scope and stuff, so I'm hoping I can get some velvet footage of them, or at least get them on trail camera. So we're gonna see what happens. Follow along as I put these cameras out today. Best cameras on the market, hands down, these Spartans here. All right, so July 3rd,
Getting ready to put some Spartans out and some mineral. Got my little helper here, Gunner. Say what's up, buddy. This is a new farm I picked up, just permission. No lease or anything like that. Should be a great piece, about 11 minutes from my house, so that's nice. Actually, all the properties I picked up this year are really close to my house. As you can see, we got beans, so it should be good for early season. Got a big CRP field over here that they're definitely bedding in, so we'll see what happens.
Big stump here, it's rotten. I'm gonna dump the mineral over. It's gonna soak into this. Put the Spartan on here. They're gonna be eating on this because it's gonna soak into this rotten stump. We'll see what happens.
So I've got Bucknado kind of located. Like I said, I got a couple pictures of him here and there. It was just, you know, there was nothing like set in stone. It wasn't like I knew exactly what he was doing all the time. He was pretty unpredictable, to say the least.
Well, it's July 29th. I just got a couple Spartans out today, just moving some cameras around from either places that have just been unproductive or, you know, places that I've been wanting some cameras. I'm doing that. I'm just moving some cameras around and seeing what I can get. I've had some spots that, you know, I got some high hopes for that I haven't had cameras, and I moved those today to those spots. So we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know.
So I got word in August about this big deer, suburban deer. Got a video sent to me, and I'm like, man, you know, I've been wanting to get into this urban hunting game for a while, and what a great opportunity. You know, it's a big deer, tons of points everywhere, and obviously something that I would be thrilled with. He'd be my biggest deer to date. So I kind of knew where this deer was in the area. I started knocking on some doors, making some phone calls, and lo and behold, I get this spot that is very close to where, you know, I got this video and picture sent to me of where this buck was spending a lot of time.
So just put a Spartan in the first urban setting that I've ever had the opportunity to hunt, but I'm not going to say which city it is, but pretty excited about it. Looks like a really good spot. Getting connections with some, you know, the right people. And the guy says that he's been seeing like a 160 over there. He's got a little bit of junk on one side, so that was just the biggest one he saw. Once I got in there, it kind of opened up into like a big meadow. Some really good stand opportunities in there, and just natural terrain features that's going to kind of funnel those deer and pinch them down in the right spot. So super excited about it. Like I said, just put a Spartan out there, just threw some little bit of corn out there, and see what happens, see what I can get on camera. I'll be anxious to see like how fast these urban deer will find the corn. I've never hunted urban, so pretty excited about it.
Next thing I know, a couple days later, boom, there he is. He's on camera, and I'm like, holy crap. You know, it's daylight, August, and he's huge. He's got points just everywhere. So in order for me to hunt this deer, I had to go through the police department, pass an archery proficiency test, get a background check, you know, the whole nine basically. I had to get cleared. And not only, you know, so once I get cleared by the police department, well then, you know, I got to make sure the property has enough acreage. The property has to be cleared by the police officer. Just a whole bunch of hoops you got to jump through. And then once you get all that, you know, obviously you have to have access and permission from a landowner. So met a really nice family, and they gave me access to a piece where I felt like, you know, I could potentially get it done here.
Whitetail Edge is powered by DeerCast, Illusion Systems, Deer Grow, Redneck Blinds, Spartan Cameras, and Analogic.
So I'm watching this buck I call Bucknado again. This is the third time we've got to glass him through the vortex. And you just kind of see his rack here, just the top of his rack. He's behind a little knoll here, but I got a little better footage before we started filming this. He's really impressive, really starting to reach what he's going to be for the upcoming season when he gets hardhorn. I've been out here every night glassing, but I'm thinking that he's coming out a little earlier than what I anticipated. But man, his rack just sticking out of those beans is an awesome sight. I got permission on surrounding properties, but they kind of suck. They're small, tons of pressure. Like, I got a property just on the other side here, and like today the Spartan was going off and it was just lawnmowers and four-wheelers all day, dogs. So it kind of sucks, and I haven't gotten a picture of them, and I only got a picture of them one time ever. So I don't know, there's a couple pieces that I have in mind I might go door knock on. Again, they're small, you don't expect much, but he's a dandy. He's worth a shot.
So August, I have Tat just about as regular as I would, like. He's in there all the time, feeling pretty good about it. September rolls around, he kind of starts turning into a ghost. His patterns switching up, food sources are switching up. He's doing different things. He's getting ready to strip velvet. Bachelor groups are breaking up a little bit here and there. He starts to become more unpredictable, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm even going to have an opportunity at this deer at this point.
So I just put a camera out here at my grandpa's farm. I picked this spot. It's got a water collection, and it is just tore up. It's literally just draws out here in big ag. Just put a Spartan right here. We'll see what happens. This place is so hit or miss. It's always been that way year after year. Some years it's got some really good deer on it, typically just one. And then other years it's awful. There's a lot of pressure. There's a huge bedding area on the other side of this draw. There's a clear cut, and so it's just thicker than all get out. Well, it's the main bedding here, and it's pressure pretty heavy. I mean, there's folks that literally hunt inside of the middle of it, just putting a lot of pressure on it, but we'll see. There's been someone bought the farm next door, and it's just gonna stay a hayfield, so we'll see what happens. I haven't ran a camera out here all year, but I did like to see all these tracks just tore up out here, so let the Spartan do the work here.
So as I mentioned before, I'm still driving around, glassing fields, got Spartans out, just trying to have a backup plan just in case Tat, vanishes. You always got to have a backup plan. And Buck NATO was being very sporadic, not showing up a whole lot, pretty much never getting a picture of him on camera. And so, just having a backup plan, I felt like was a good thing to have, right? So I put a Spartan up over at my grandpa's, and he just has two draws in the middle of, big ag, big soybean fields. And there was a water collection that was up next to one of the draws, and, it's pretty warm out. It's mid-September. And, I thought, well, I'll just put a Spartan on this water hole and just see if anything comes through.
This is Spartan move number 563. Not really, but I've been moving cameras a lot here lately. I'm just trying to pick up these bucks in that late September shift, hard-horned, kind of moving to fall ranges, and just moving this Spartan here out of this place. I just haven't really had the pictures I was expecting. I got pictures of that buck I was after. I was glassing him a lot this summer, Buck NATO. He hasn't came back. Don't really know where his fall range is. This is my first year hunting a lot of these places here around my house. So just kind of playing a chess match. I'm wanting to try to get it done early. So
when I'm with Ben filming this fall, I'm not thinking about it. So still after Tat, the urban deer, more than any other deer. He's on my radar. He's my main focus. Might be able to get him killed, we'll see, but never hurts to have options. You know, I'm just going from 1 3-acre property to a 5-acre. I don't really have the big properties or anything. It's all permission, no lease, no ownership, so anyone can do this. I just took the time to knock on doors and call people. It's worked out for me, but you know, it is tough hunting these small pieces, especially if there's not much of a reason for them to go on it, you know. A lot of these are just deer passing through and that's it. So just wanted to document yet another move with the Spartan. So I'm in my urban spot here, and look at that. That's from where that buck I'm after shedding his velvet. This is definitely where he's spending a lot of time. So I'm gonna be hanging a Novix right here. Beautiful spot here, tucked in. I mean, doesn't get better than that as far as cover. Got my Novix home here. We're ready to rock. I think we're 19 days out from Ohio opener. I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to hop on here and head to Ben's to do a little bit of filming today, and feel a little better waking up today. And last night I slept a little easier because Tat broke daylight. He was in there at 7:15, so plenty of camera light, plenty of shooting light. You know, let's see, today's Thursday. Next Saturday it's the opener, so I'm super pumped, man. I can't wait. Just getting closer and closer. He came in on the only wind I can't hunt though, which is the northwest. It's the absolute worst wind for me there, so we'll see. I'm gonna keep better tabs of what wind he walks in on and see if there's any correlation there to him breaking daylight on the northwest. So just had to document that. So well, it's finally here. It's opening day, September 24th. And I'm headed to my urban spot to kill Tat, or try to kill Tat. Totally evaded my area for 3 days, just completely disappeared. Daylighted yesterday at like 1 p.m. just out of the blue. And then last night he came in, I think at like 4 in the morning, or no, 1 in the morning. And then I got a picture of him at 6 in the morning going back to bed. I know exactly where he's bedded. Wind is perfect. I really played my cards right, and you know, done everything correctly all the way up to this point. I've used the phase system every time I go into that place, completely undetected. It's a staging area where they're feeding on acorns pretty heavily at the moment. They stage up in this flat right before going out and feeding into a big field. We're gonna see what happens. 64 degrees. We're on the last day of a cold front. It's gonna heat up for 1, maybe 2 days, and then it's right back down to cold temperatures again. We got a south wind, and we're gonna see what happens.
First sit of the year. I did not think I was going to get out opening day. I just didn't think the conditions were going to be right, but looks like we're going to give it a shot.
Okay, I think I'm ready. So like I said, September 24th here. Just got in my spot, urban spot. First time ever urban bow hunting this year. And I've got a good one on camera. If you guys have seen buck I named Tat. Daylighted yesterday. I got him on a scrape here going back to bed about 6:40 this morning. I have a feeling there's a ridge system here that he's bedding on. And feels right, man. Feels like he could be on his feet tonight early. So we're gonna sit here and see, man, opening day. Let's get at it. My mind is pulling right at them right now. It is swirling right at that buck right now. That's the deer that Tat runs with. Has got to be close right now.
Well, he didn't show tonight. Every other buck that I've been seeing, they showed up. He just didn't feel like it. Not really. My wind did get a little swirly there, but you know, I fooled every deer that came in. They did blow a little bit, but they had no idea, and they just went right back to doing what they were doing. So he didn't show. Let the cameras do the work here and see if he ends up breaking daylight again. I'm gonna pull this camera, and there's a really good bench up here that there's fresh sign on from past 24 hours. And I'm gonna put a mock scrape. I'm gonna hang this Novix. See if I can get some pictures of him. I think it'd be a lot easier to kill him on that natural movement on this bench and hitting a scrape. So see what happens. All right, so I couldn't find a natural scrape here, so I'm making a mock scrape. I zip tied this maple branch and figured out a spot here. I'll put some Dominator in it, get some branch butter in this limb. This is right on a bench, flat here, looking over this bottom. And still gonna pick a tree out to hunt, but
should be manageable. I'm gonna get going and try to hurry up and get out of here.
So here's the setup. Really tucked in the cedar, it's tight. That mock scrape is right there. Bench, traveling right through here. Probably a 25-yard shot. Look over here. I've got a bench running right beside me. I'm right in between two benches. Set up perfectly for a west wind. I could get away with a north probably. I know I could get away with a north, a west. Gotta be a little careful on a south because of this bench. But I'm gonna throw a Spartan on this scrape down here and see what it tells me. Now I'm gonna hurry up and get out of here.
The 26 rolls around, and I get a call from Ben that evening, and he had an encounter with a buck that he was chasing, tall boy, as you guys saw in the previous episode. Big giant deer, but Ben's self-filming. Tall boy comes in quick as could be, and Ben couldn't get a shot. So he calls me and says, "Hey, I need you to be at my house tomorrow. Let's go get this done. Come film me."
So I just want to make this video while it's fresh and happened this morning. I woke up this morning, checked my Spartan, and had a absolute slob at my grandpa's, which is just overlooking a soybean field. I got 2 draws to hunt there. Tonight I'm going to go film Ben as we're going to try to catch up with Tall Boy. We got a pretty good feeling it's going to happen tonight. Got a really massive cold front that just moved in. So we're feeling pretty confident about tonight. So if we get it done tonight, tomorrow I'm gonna go out probably midday around noon, see if I can find some scrapes or make a mock scrape, and then I'm gonna do an observatory sit tomorrow evening and just see if I can see where this big deer's coming out of, and got a pretty good idea where he's coming out of, and we'll see.
Meh. Meh. Thank you, Lord. Get this monkey off our back. Oh, man. He just went into the worst spot ever. He did, he's done.
All right, so it's September 28th. This massive cold front continues. Last night, Ben and I capitalized on Tall Boy. Ben made an excellent shot on a dandy deer, giant, great sit. You know, we finally got the monkey off our back and killed a deer. Me and Ben haven't had the best of luck together, but you know, we finally kicked that to the curb and got it done last night. So I'm headed to my urban property. Tat was in there this morning around 7 o'clock. Last time he broke daylight was on a wind much like today, a northerly type wind, and not necessarily the best wind for me. So you know, my phase system really going to come in key today, and hopefully, you know, my scent elimination is on point. Last night we kind of beat some deer, but it was also a little bit iffy with some others. So we're gonna see what happens tonight. Gonna climb in the stand. A little bit of overcast today, 58 degrees right now. You know, good steady wind, so I shouldn't be too swirly. And we're gonna see what happens.
So I'm sitting there, you know, I got deer moving. All of a sudden, there's Tat. So in between me and Tat is this 8-point that Tat rolled around with pretty much all summer. They're still kind of grouped up, and that 8-point's right in the middle of me and Tat, and he's at like 12 yards, and it seems like that he's got me pegged. He's looking right at me. Tat kind of works his way in, and you know, I can't pull back. The 8-point's looking right at me. Tat's looking at the 8-point. I mean, it is tense. I draw back. It looks for a second that I have a hard quartering away shot. And as I let that arrow fly, he kind of turns back, and I miss him, and I miss him bad.
Biggest deer in my life. I just screwed it up.
Everybody asks why I like black widow deer lures. Well, the proof is in the pudding.
So, my scrape's right here. First thing I'm gonna do, I wanna freshen this thing up to really get this deer paying attention anyway, so I'm gonna put this black widow on there. Yeah, baby. I just smoked a giant on a black widow mock scrape, baby.
Whitetail Edge is brought to you by these other fine sponsors: Advantage Ag and Equipment, HHA Sports, Miller's Gun and Supply, Rogue Bowstrings, NFP Insurance, Classic Rack, Cobra Archery, Packer Max, and E-Bikes of Holmes County.
Looking back, you know, I probably shouldn't have even made that shot. Just the deer had me rattled. I thought I could tuck it in there on a hard quartering away shot, and I wasn't anticipating what he was going to do next.
So as you can see right here, you know, Dylon misses this deer. And I know what you're thinking watching the footage. You know, you're like, why did he shoot? But, you know, sometimes it's hard to, the camera angle sometimes is different than the hunter's angle. And there's a lot going on when you're self-filming. So before you go judging too much, you know, you have to think about all these things. But Dylon will admit himself that he gets a little too excited. He wants it to happen too fast. It's a problem that he's working on. This is some of the things that I'm talking about that Dylon's willing to talk about. You know, in his mind, the deer, you know, was quartering kind of hard, but he felt like he could tuck it in there. Then when he shot, the deer whirled, totally missed the deer, luckily. You know, I remember him calling me that night and we talked about it. And, you know, and he knows what his problem is, about how excited he gets. And, you know, granted, that's part of hunting. That's why we do it. But he also understands that he has to get it under control a little bit. So, you know, this is a common problem with a lot of people. And I think a lot more people wound animals and never talk about it than, you know, a lot of us will ever know, because they don't want to talk about it. But if it's a problem, you know, you need to work on it. And so, like, Dylon is truly working on this situation. Now, stay with us here because he gets another crack at this deer and things come full circle.
So I get home, I'm venting to my wife, you know, just upset, beside myself. And right before last light, Spartan goes off. Guess who's back?
So I just left my grandpa's where that big typical, I got a picture of him and hung 2 Spartans, and it is tore up. I mean, I'm talking 7 to 9 scrapes and like a 15, 20 yard radius, just destroyed. You know, whether they're his scrapes or another deer's, I don't know. But all I know is it's the mother of all cold fronts tonight. I have a very good feeling that I can kill Tat tonight, get my redemption. Missed him last night.
You know, it's like, do I sit at Grandpa's and hunt the big typical? Do I go hunt tat? I made up in my mind, I'm gonna go hunt tat tonight. And if the Spartan goes off and that typical daylights before tat comes in, I'm gonna pass tat. Okay, so washing my towel and my undergarments that I'm gonna have under my my Osseo. I used a lot, but hunting a wind that's good for tat and bad for me. But I wanted to wash my towel and everything else as well, you know, because there's no sense of washing everything scent free and you being scent free and then drying off with a towel that's washed in regular detergent.
I feel way more confident about this setup tonight. When I stand up, I lose a lot of cover, but when I'm sitting down, it's like I'm sitting in a little nest. Very hard to pick me off. And so I trimmed 2 little limbs out of my way to where I can shoot sitting down, and it is going to be an absolute game changer for me tonight. It's time for redemption.
Well, a short time goes by and I look off and I can see a dark rack, big body deer about 50 yards deep into the timber. I get a better look and it's tat.
Get another arrow at him. I get another arrow at him.
Obviously not the best shot, right? Kind of misjudged his range. You know, unfortunately, that's part of bow hunting. It happens. It's not the first time it's happened to me. Probably won't be the last, unfortunately. Work hard all summer shooting so that doesn't happen, but you know, it's bow hunting and things are unpredictable. It doesn't always go exactly how you want it to, but I got down on my stand and got an arrow in him as soon as possible. All right, guys, so here he is. This is Tat, the talk around town, I called him. Man, this deer does not lack character. Points everywhere. I think I've counted 23 scoreable points. I'll get a close-up of these bases. They're just insane. Giant mass kickers. I mean, nasty. This left side a little weak because he actually had an injury on his right side on his hoof. Must have broke his ankle or something, but it's all swelled up like a club. But man, I did not give these urban deer enough credit. It's my first time ever hunting urban, and these deer straight humbled me. It was not easy getting in on this deer yesterday. You know, I had the big miss, came in directly downwind. My scent control was on point, And I took it a step further last night after that encounter. I knew that this deer, you know, he wasn't too spooked, but you know, going in knowing that something did happen last night, I took my scent control another level. Really phased up, and just made sure, you know, that I was as scent free as possible. And wind switched from a northwest to a northeast tonight, and he came in downwind again, and I was able to beat him. I was pumping Black Widow spray all night, phased up. It was more of like a staging area where he would come in and stage before he would go out and feed into a big grass field. Made a bad shot. I had his vitals exposed. You know, I felt like I could enter through the lungs, hit liver, and possibly like femoral, you know, on the exit. I felt pretty confident in it. I had my HHA dialed in at 25 and he was at 20, so I hit a little high. Nerves had the best of me. I mean, he worked his way in. It took him forever. I saw this deer at 40 yards, and so it was heart pounding. I mean, a deer has not had me this jacked up in a long time. I guess as soon as I stopped feeling that way, it's time to hang the bow up. But man, this thing got me jacked up. It's the biggest deer of my life, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Really hope you and guys enjoy watching. It was quite the experience in the chase, knocking on doors. I knocked on so many doors, called so many people this year. I just really put a lot of work and time, and you know, I lost a big lease last year where I killed. Went from 140 acres to 3 acres. It is doable. So as the season goes on, you know, I'm hitting the road with Ben here and there. We're doing some filming. I'm back home one night and I get a call from my mom, and she kills her biggest buck to date, a 173-inch deer, all by herself. It's her biggest deer of her life. Couldn't be more pumped about that. She was absolutely thrilled, which rightfully so, because this deer was pretty dang special. So now I've killed my biggest deer to date. My mom's killed her biggest deer to date. My brother's got plans of coming in town, and my dad still has a tag. So who knows what could happen.
Back. Yes, sir. Holy smokes. He went 30 yards, guys. I gotta call my brother.
Did you get him?
I got him, Bubba.
Shut up, dude.
He's a stud.
Oh my gosh,
Hold
you've
on.
got to be kidding me.
No, he's dead in the field, went 30 yards.
Yes.
All on
Did you get it on film?
all on film, buddy. Oh guys, it's December 1st, last hour of light. I've got to head back to Louisiana in the morning, and he didn't go 40. I'm waiting on Dylon to get here. Woo! Woo! Yes! Oh my gosh, what a stud, dude. Dude, he's a hammer. Holy crap. The last hour, last day. I'm happy for you. Thanks, brother. Oh, you found him. Jeez.
Haven't had the deer officially scored yet. I'd say he's right around that 180 mark. Just an awesome deer. Congratulations, man. I love you. So happy that you could come here and get it done on an absolute stud, your biggest buck to date. So now I've killed my biggest buck to date. Mom's killed her biggest buck. Zach has come in from Louisiana, killed his biggest deer. We're having a banner year, and now it's up to the old man. So, you know, my dad got me into hunting, thank goodness. Can't thank him enough for that, sharing that passion with me and what, you know, what it's all turned into. And it was the weekend before Christmas or right around Christmas time, but we got hit with the coldest weather in Ohio that I've ever seen. I mean, we're talking negative 40-degree wind chills. It was brutal. Got pictures of this deer, and we've had him actually since 2018. We lost access to the property where we were getting his pictures, and we ended up, Dad actually got a piece just not too far from there, and he ends up showing right back up on camera. And we had this deer back in 2018. It's 2022 now. And we obviously had no idea that this deer was even still alive. I get a call from Dad one night, and he said, "Hey, I got him." I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe, I didn't even know you were hunting. Can't believe you were even sitting out in this." And sure enough, you know, I go out there to help him track it, and we just walk up on this deer in complete amazement. It was definitely a season, you know, for the books. Doubt we'll ever top that again. Just very memorable, you know, just to be able to share that with my family. You know, all killing on different properties, all fairly small properties. You know, I killed on 3 acres, Dad killed on 6, my brother killed on just 2 draws in the middle of an ag field, Mom kills on 36 acres. So it's not like these giant mega farms, you know. Just really unbelievable year. Couldn't be more happy and proud of my family and what we were able to accomplish this year. So hey, thank you so much for watching my episode, Tat. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't already, please like, share, subscribe here on our YouTube channel. You can watch us on Deercast, Mossio Go, Carbon TV, Rumble. You can find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Please go show us some support. It helps us out a lot. And thank you guys so much for watching Whitetail Edge.